Hello and welcome to the Wedding Files. I'm Tracy and I'm here to help you navigate through the mysteries of planning your wedding. Today's episode, we're going to continue talking about the conversation you and your partner need to have before you start planning or answering your friends and family's questions. So again, get comfortable because we're going to have to finish the talk. Like I said in part 1, let's set the mood. Plan a night where your partner and you have a few hours where you can totally devote to each other without any interruptions. Turn off the TV, put some nice music on, and turn off your phones or at least put them away. Maybe do this during dinner or just after so you won't be hungry and distracted. Then grab your notes from part 1, the first 6 questions, because today we're going to talk about the second 6 questions. Remember to write down your answers, and this will make up your rough draft that will take you through the whole wedding planning process. Question 7. What location do we envision for the ceremony and reception? Hopefully, by the time you've reached this point in your relationship, you've figured out your religion and other major life choices. If you haven't, then have that talk. I'll wait. Okay, let's wrap it up. Let's get to the end of that. Okay, you can talk about it later. Awesome. So, are you getting married in your church, or do you see yourself getting married somewhere else? Do you want a location where both happen at the same place, or are you okay with travel time in between? Do you see yourself getting married in the woods, the mountains, or on a beach? There's a lot of questions just to figure out the location. But before you start looking at one venue after another, have a common vision. I want a beach wedding, but I live in Wisconsin means it's going to be more expensive and everyone will be traveling. But I want a lake wedding and I live on a great lake with an awesome venue down the street is much more cost effective and more people will be able to make that. If you live in a big city with lots of choices, then it might be easier to eliminate the ones that are too far or don't fit in your price range. If you plan on using separate locations for your ceremony and reception, remember that you'll not only need time for everyone to get to the second location, but you'll need extra time for pictures, possibly at both. Make sure that you talk to both locations to confirm the times while you're at that penciling in stage. If you have 2 locations, then try to look for a drive time of no more than 30 minutes in between and no more than an hour of time in between. That will keep everyone still in the flow of the party, and good photographers can get all your pictures in 30 minutes, giving you the other 30 minutes to get to the reception. Question 8. Are we having alcohol? This has always been a tricky subject. If you don't have alcohol, will your guests be bored and will the party die? If you do have alcohol, are you doing a cash or open bar? How much alcohol do you even need? Sometimes the decision is out of your hands because of the rules of your venue. Some venues will allow you to bring beer, wine, and champagne only. Some venues have package deals and will supply all your alcohol. Some venues and churches won't allow any. So if it's important to you, then make sure you talk to the venue when you tour to ask them what their policy is. If you do a cash bar, this is where the guests pay for what they drink, then you need to be very clear when you send out invitations or list it somewhere big and bold on your wedding website so everyone is aware. Many a guest expecting to drink has been pissed off when they get to the bar and realize they have to pay $4 for a beer. If you choose not to have any alcohol, that is okay too. It's your wedding. But if you want to be able to give your guests an alcohol option, maybe keep it simple by just doing a sparkling wine only or a signature punch, or maybe have a margarita machine. I'm going to do an entire episode on how much alcohol to buy soon, but for now, making the decision is what you need to focus on. Question 9. What kind of entertainment do we want? I've seen it all. Magician, belly dancer, African dance troupe. But this kind of entertainment is DJ or band or both. But wait, can't I just run my iPod? Well, yes, if you plan on everyone just hanging out. A good wedding DJ, not club DJ, can also MC your wedding. That's the person announcing the wedding party during the introduction to the reception, or letting the guests know that you're about to do your first dance, and the one playing the right music at the right time to get everyone dancing. A band is more of a show than a DJ, in that a bunch of people are performing for you. One of the things to remember is that while a DJ is playing continuously all night, the band takes breaks. Some people have had both, in that the band played for the ceremony and cocktail hour, and the DJ did the reception. Another thing is that if the DJ or band are friends of yours, make sure they are professionals. Having frienders can be very difficult, as they can be more interested in hanging out with friends than working, or if they are new and haven't worked weddings before, they may not understand the scripts and agenda to follow all night. And it's hard to ask a friend to work because you want them to have a good time too. DJs and bands can both come with lights, they both have mics to use for toasts, and both can give you the same personal attention. DJs have a wider library of songs, but bands play the music live. So again, it's a preference, but one to decide on right away, as some venues have this as part of their exclusive vendor deal. Question 10. Which other vendors do we want? This is the photographer, videographer, and officiant. I always suggest hiring a professional that has done weddings when it comes to photographers and videographers. Using a friender that hasn't done weddings can leave you with no usable pictures. A professional knows how to take pictures of people moving, like when they're walking down the aisle, and they can orchestrate a group of people to get all your after-ceremony pictures done quickly. A videographer has the ability to mic you up and records the entire ceremony, along with making a short movie of the entire event for you to look back on. Many couples, myself included, remember bits and pieces of the night, so having a professional movie gives you the ability to see everything you didn't remember. Your officiant might be your priest or preacher at your church, which is automatically part of the church ceremony package, or he or she might be part of the exclusive vendor list at the venue you book with. I've also seen a lot of friends and family members being ordained to perform the ceremony. Just make sure that he or she follows the law for the county and state that you're getting married in, and make sure that he or she will be comfortable in front of the audience. If you choose a friend or family member, decide on the wording of the entire ceremony ahead of time. Then your ordained brother won't be telling the story of how you broke into your ex-boyfriend's car and carved your name on his dashboard. You don't want surprises at one of the most important times of your life. Question 11. What special touches do we want? This question may be answered as you progress through your planning. These are things like, do you want a cake or cupcakes? Do you want a buffet or plated meal? Do you want real, artificial, or flower substitutes? Do you want to rent a party bus for the whole wedding party, a limo for just the two of you, or are you driving yourself? Do you want a photo booth or just a photo station where you can bring your own props? Are you making your own centerpieces or are you renting from the venue? These questions come up when you are touring all-inclusive venues, so it's best to have a heads up that the questions are coming. This is also a good time to talk about anything you've always wanted. I really want my dog in the wedding. Check with the venue. I've always wanted sparklers at the send-off. Check with the venue and local firework laws. I want a remembrance table for my dad that passed since he's not giving me away. Let the venue know you will need space for that. Make a list for the two of you on must-haves that haven't been covered yet. Question 12, and the hardest one. What is our budget? Here's the thing on this. Most engagements last 9 months to a year. In that amount of time, if you want something, you will find a way to pay for it. You may start off saying we have $10,000 we can spend on this wedding, but by the time you've paid for the venue, all your vendors, food, decor, alcohol, dress, tux, shoes, makeup and hair, gifts for the wedding party, rehearsal dinner, tips, service charges, and the other million things that pop up, you may have actually paid $20,000 and didn't even realize it. There are many wedding budget helpers, again, the Knot and Wedding Wire have great ones, that can keep you from going crazy. But once that boulder starts rolling, it's hard to stop it. So my advice to you is know what's valuable to you. It's different than cost. I value this dress because it's perfect. It's going to cost me $1,500, which is more than I wanted to spend, but I don't really care about huge floral centerpieces, so that value is minimal to me. We can go with cool wine bottles and baby's breath and make up the difference. Now, here's what to look out for. Many vendors don't list prices on their website because they want you to come in to sales pitch you. However, when they are setting up your tour and they ask your budget, if you tell them $5,000 because you're guessing that's how much money you would be spending there, some venues won't want you to come in because they don't think you can afford it. It's really unfair and misleading. So I'm going to tell you something that everyone will disagree with me on, and the vendors in the industry will be furious with me for saying. Lie. Know what's realistic for you though. I know I can't afford a $20,000 venue, so I'm not going to try to go to one. But when they ask what your budget is, tell them $10,000 to $15,000 if that's your market. You can Google search the average price of a wedding in your area and use those numbers. Then they will think you aren't a waste of time and you can look at everything that they offer and make a decision on it. It's frustrating to not be able to get in the door because you didn't guess the magic number. This does not mean that you have to spend that amount either. It's just the means to get in the door. Many venues have all-inclusive deals where they add their DJ, caterer, baker, florist, officiant, photographer, and videographer. So get the prices for everything, bring it home, and put each amount in an Excel sheet. Then once you've seen a few venues, you'll have an idea of how much everyone is charging and you can compare prices. When you see a vendor, their job is to get you excited, so you start buying everything. Don't book the first place you see, even if it's your first choice. You can go back after you've seen 2 or 3 more. And when you go back, you will have more ammunition to negotiate prices. Venue B can give me 10% off because of a military discount. Can you? Or you may see an idea you love at another bakery that your first choice can do. The budget is tricky, and when parents are paying for it and tell you you have a limit of $15,000, that's where the what's valuable to you will happen most often. Keep an eye on what you're spending, but don't put a limit on it at the very beginning. Just like Rufus said in Dogma, don't have a belief, have an idea. So that wraps up all 12 questions. I'll be talking more in depth on all of these questions coming up in future episodes. But now that you and your partner have worked out the big stuff, everything will start coming together. There are millions of websites and magazines and YouTubers with opinions, in addition to your family and friends, that everyone bombarding you with ideas can get overwhelming. Expressing your wishes with each other and communicating honestly and openly will help both of you maintain each other's sanity. He can say, "Remember you said you really wanted a DJ when your dad is telling you have to book this band he saw?" You give each other strength when you are trying to make everyone else happy. You remind each other of your identities when other people want to take over, and you know from the beginning what each other wants in this celebration. Ideas may change, but as long as you both are in agreement and on the same page, you'll have the wedding you both want. Thank you for watching. If you have comments or questions, please leave it below and I'll get to all of them. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and feel free to share and give me a thumbs up. I'll have a lot more videos coming up, like how to do a seating chart and how to cut a wedding cake, so don't miss out. See you soon, and remember, I've got your back.